Presented by the 2015 Honda CR-V, Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
Welcome to Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Blue Jays took 2 of 3 against the New York Yankees in their season opening series. Anxious to get off to a good start against Baltimore, their AL East rivals. Of course, the Orioles won the East last year, 96 wins, and they won the division by 12 games. The Blue Jays have a lot of ground to make up to catch the Orioles.
They made it look easy, didn't they, last year? Great pitching, good defense, and a lot of home runs did the trick for the Orioles.
Here's the lineup for the Blue Jays. It's Reyes, Pompey in the 2 spot, and Reyes has put up big numbers against the Orioles starter, Bud Norris, 10 for 28 on base percentage of .400. Pompey is in the 2 hole, as we mentioned. Encarnacion, he loves hitting in this ballpark, and who doesn't? It's a great hitter's ballpark, and of course, Encarnacion with 2 homers in the Yankees series has hit 12 in this ballpark. Round out the lineup, Pilar and Nevin Travis, bottom of the order. The bottom of the order has been very good to start this season.
Getting on base and getting a chance to score a lot of runs. This is Bud Norris coming off his finest season where he went 15-8. That was a career high in wins. You can see the earned run average at 365. That also represents a career best for Bud Norris. His previous career high in wins for a season was 2013. That was 10. In fact, his first winning record in the big leagues was last year. That was since he became a full-time starter in 2010.
Well, we mentioned defense, and the Orioles have a different look in the outfield. No Nelson Cruz in left, and no Nick Markakis in right. It's Steve Pearce, Adam Jones, and the former Blue Jay #1 pick Travis Snyder in right field. Manny Machado, a Gold Glover, he's at third base. No J.J. Hardy, he's on the disabled list, so Everett Cabrera gets the start. Jonathan Scope, the second baseman, and Chris Davis back with the Orioles after missing the opening day game because of a suspension. And Caleb Joseph, who caught 77 games for the Orioles last season behind the plate.
Happiest guy in the ballpark for the Baltimore Orioles has to be that man right there, Chris Davis. This is his first game at Camden Yards since September 10th. You mentioned the suspension, so he is back at his familiar spot over at first base.
Chris Davis wants to have a bounce back year. A little bit of a down season a year ago. He hit just 196. Reyes is in the box, and Bud Norris is set. Orioles home opener after going 2-1 against Tampa Bay. Norris is set. Here's the first pitch of the game. It's in there for a strike, and we are underway. Reyes went 3 for 12 in the 3 games in New York. He picked up an RBI.
Well, get used to that right there. You can see from Pitch Tracker, both of those pitches were down according to Reyes and Pitch Tracker, but that's where Bud Norris lives, down in the strike zone. He has made improvement in his control. He walked the fewest batters in his career since becoming a starter last year.
Breaking ball. The appeal to third is denied by the third base umpire, Jim Timmons. Reyes feeling something on his left side. That's not a good sign. He's going to take a swing, and he continues to feel his rib cage area on the left side.
Yeah, we'll have to watch that after that check swing. Watch the check swing once again from Jose Reyes as he tries to hold up, and then immediately went right to his side. His rib cage, like he might have pulled something.
Oh, that's not a good sign. You can see him fiddling with his side. Pulls this one foul, and he continues to stretch out his left side. That's not a good sign, Pat.
No. You can see George Poulos, Mike Frostad, they're all over that too, Buck. Blue Jays took batting practice this morning on the field, but it's cold and it's damp. You got to make sure that you're nice and loose before you start a game like today.
Reyes pokes it foul. He doesn't look good. He doesn't look good at all. And you see, after every swing, he continues to try to loosen up that left side. Obviously, the Blue Jays concerned with Reyes here in his first at bat. After every pitch.
Every one. and he's holding on to the bat also when he finishes a swing. Very ginger swing also from Reyes.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. There's a liner into center. Jones will dive in, can't make the catch. Reyes aboard with a leadoff single. Adam Jones, the Gold Glover in center, dove for it. Got a glove on it, but couldn't hold on when he hit the turf. The ball popped loose.
He was playing shallow, taking away extra bases. You can see where he is. It looks like he's almost right behind second base. Gets a good jump on it. It's to his glove side. It looked like it rattled around a little bit in his glove off the heel and then off the webbing for a base hit.
Leadoff single for Reyes. Jones, a 4-time Gold Glover. Couldn't make the play. Dalton Pompey moves into the 2 spot. He went 0 for 8 in the Yankees series. What's the thinking about moving Pompey up into the 2 hole?
The thinking is maybe he'll get himself some more fastballs right here. You've got some speed over at first base in Reyes. You've got the power behind him in Bautista and Encarnacion. So John Gibbons moves Dalton Pompey up. Hey, look for the fastball. See if you can do some damage.
Norris will give you fastballs. He loves to use his fastball, and it's quite a departure from what the Blue Jays saw in New York. Boy, they saw a combination of change-ups and slow breaking balls from Tanaka, Sabathia, and it was just pitch after pitch after pitch was off speed.
Norris will come right after you, like I said. He'll cut that fastball just a little bit. I've seen the improvement in the changeup. We're starting to see a few more changeups from Norris, especially to the left-handers. But basically, it's attack low in that strike zone.
Blue Jays have never beaten Bud Norris. He's 4-0 in 6 career starts. There's a base hit for Dalton Pompey. He got the high fastball. Reyes is around second. He's headed for third. Here's the throw into second. It's a double for Pompey. And the move works immediately as Dalton Pompey gets his first hit of the season.
You know, it worked to perfection. That's exactly why they put him in that lineup in that second spot. John Gibbons says maybe he'll get more fastballs, especially if Jose's on. So be ready and try and yank a ball into right field. That's exactly what Dalton does. He hit a ball the other day in New York that probably would have been a home run later in the season, but it just died. He'll get his share of hits, and he gets a good one right here, right over the head of Reyes, down in that corner.
Second and third, nobody out for Jose Bautista. Jose had a tough series in New York. Didn't like that call, and you can see why. Look where that pitch is on pitch strike.
Up and in, and when you're struggling, it always seems like you're behind in the count, 0-1. They fed him a lot of off-speed pitches.
Slider, he hits off the end of the bat, down and away.
And I talked to Book Jacoby today during batting practice about Jose. He said they went back and they looked at the film, and his start is the same. He's got his front foot down right when that pitcher's getting ready to release the ball. Everything is there. It's just he threw him a lot of off-speed pitches, and he felt like Jose was chasing. He was anxious just a little bit, chasing that pitches off the plate.
If he were 0 for 12 in August, nobody would think twice about it. Off the end of the bat, base hit. Reyes in to score. They'll stop Pompey at third, and Bautista has his first hit of the season. There's been so much talk about the shifts. If Bautista and Encarnacion continue to hit the ball to right, they're going to straighten out the defenses.
Those hitting lanes will start coming through for him again. That's just a good piece of hitting right there. Again, he saw so many breaking balls in New York. Here's another one. It's off the plate. He cuts his swing down, makes contact, gets his first hit, gets his first RBI, and gets the Blue Jays off on a good start.
So Norris has been backing up bases early in the first inning. Now it's Edwin Encarnacion with his 12 home runs in this ballpark. Edwin hit his second home run of the season last night in New York in the 8th inning. He didn't hit his second home run last April until the 29th of the month. He crushed that home run last night.
And he didn't have to take a swing like this. He was thinking about the same thing. That's a violent swing right there. One to get loose. Had one right there. But that ball you were talking about in New York is one of the farthest I've ever seen by a right-hander in that ballpark.
Reyes trying to get some attention from George Poulos. And we talked about his first at bat. He felt something on his left side on a check swing, and it bothered him throughout the entire at bat. That's not a good sign. Those things can linger. With a little broken bat looper into center, Jones makes the catch. Here's the throw to the plate. Pompey in safely. As the throw was offline, Encarnacion with the sacrifice fly, 2-0 Blue Jays.
You know what, Buck? We have talked about these young kids and the inexperience in baseball, but you watch them play, they've got very good baseball instincts. Encarnacion got enough of that to get it deep into the outfield. I was watching Dalton Pompey on that, and young kids, those in-between balls, watch this, it's off the end of the bat, he breaks his bat. Young kids, he went right back to the bag and tagged up. I have seen young players come into this game and they're not real sure. Should they go halfway on that? They're not sure if it's going to fall in. He went right back to the bag with less than 2 outs, tagged and scored easily.
Josh Donaldson. Well, the Blue Jays, they have been able to put up some crooked numbers early in the season. They scored 4 in the second last night. They scored 5 in the third Monday afternoon in the opener. This is a potent offense.
We were talking about that, you and I, before the ball game, about how important it is to get off to a good start on the road, especially early in a ball game, get some runs on the board, take the pressure off the team.
Yeah, how do you feel as a pitcher? You've got a 2-0 lead. Buehrle hasn't even taken the mound yet. Batista with an RBI single. He's at first. Encarnacion picks up the RBI on the sac fly for Edwin, his 4th of the season. 2-0 to Donaldson. Little squibber up the third base line and goes into foul ground. Donaldson got a couple of hits in the series finale. Reyes is back on the bench, but Jacoby, a hitting coach, over to check with him, and Jacoby didn't seem to be too concerned about it. Reyes is tough. We don't want you to think that he's fragile by any means. He's a tough guy, and he's going to hang in there. And he was especially focused during the offseason about getting his legs in great shape. He's had ankle problems and hamstring problems throughout his career.
Yeah, the frustration of the injuries, I think he's had enough of it.
Ball is thrown away. Batista is going to move up. But Norris with an errant pickoff throw. Bautista moves into scoring position for Donaldson. And Buck Showalter, his ball clubs have always been a good defensive team.
Very fundamentally sound, and this just isn't characteristic of this team. Throws it away, but it comes right back to Davis. So Jose can only move up 90 feet.
Norris committed 1 error a year ago. He's charged with the error on the bad throw. Batista at second now. Josh Donaldson, boy, he was working hard in batting practice to hit the ball to right field. I mean, he is a pull hitter, and everybody knows it, but he's aware in these situations as an RBI guy, you use the whole field, you're going to spread out the defense.
Got a hit in yesterday's ball game right back through the middle.
Good cut on the 3-1 pitch. Now the count is full. Tack-on runs are huge. Blue Jays with a 2-0 lead would like to add to that lead with Batista at second. There's a little flare down the right side. You can see that inside out swing with 2 strikes. Donaldson just trying to put the bat on the ball.
Let's take a quick look at the scouting report for the right-hander this afternoon for the Baltimore Orioles. Bud Norris, fastball 93 miles an hour. He throws it 60% of the time. He's got the slider, the changeup, and the cutter that he will use. We've seen some improvement in the slider, some refinement in that changeup. And when he gets to 2 strikes, He likes to go after you with that fastball, tries to pin it down and away, using the changeup just a little bit more than we have seen in the past.
Off-speed pitch, here's that changeup.
There it is right there. His performance is so much better. They hit 188 off that changeup last year after a 2013 season where they hit 346 against him.
Yanner Navarro is on deck. It's a full count to Donaldson. One down. Blue Jays have scored 2 here in the top of the first. Ball 4. Donaldson takes the fastball upstairs. But Noah is struggling here in the first inning, and that's going to bring the pitching coach, Dave Wallace, out of the Orioles dugout. This is Norris's first start of the season, and the Blue Jays have touched him up for 2 runs on 3 hits.
They have really made him work, too. 25 pitches already here in the first inning. And there's only 1 out.
Yanner Navarro got the call to start this ball game. He is a switch hitting catcher, and obviously with the addition of Russell Martin to this ball club, playing time seems to be scarce for Navarro. But with the game in New York last night, early start here this afternoon, it's a perfect time to get Navarro behind the plate.
And he's had success working with Mark Buehrle. Blue Jays like his bat in the middle of that lineup. He has been a good run producer for him last year.
Navarro opened up the season as the DH, got a base hit in his first at bat. Yanner, .255 hitter in this ballpark for his career. He's late on that fastball, up and away. It might have been a ball. Janner's coming off a career offensive season. Last year he was terrific. At a career high with 132 hits. He drove in 69 runs and was just 1 off his career high in home runs with 12. But Norris is flirting with danger upstairs. Navarro can Tommy Hawk it. He had a ringing double in the final spring training game in Montreal, hit to the base of the wall in right center.
Well, what makes it so tough to pitch to Navarro is he can hit the ball all over the ballpark. You pitch him outside, he'll slash it the other way. You pitch him inside, he can turn on it. You mentioned the 12 home runs last year for Navarro. But Norris right now struggling to find that release point.
There is nothing like getting into a team's bullpen in the first game of a series. Knock that starter out and make those relievers work early in the series. Right at the bottom of the strike zone. Now it's 2-2. If you get to the starter early in game 1, you force the Orioles to use their bullpen. And you never know how that's going to affect them for the remaining 2 games of this series.
Puts a lot of pressure on tomorrow night's pitcher if you can get in there early.
2-2 going the other way. This is trouble. That's a fair ball. It's going to go to the wall. Batista's around third. He's going to score. Donaldson's being waved home. Here's the throw to the plate. It is not in time. Another 4-run inning for the Blue Jays.
And that's what we were talking about, Navarro, why he has become a really good run producer for Toronto, because he can hit the ball where it's pitched. Fastball in a fastball count, that's not a ball that you're going to pull. If you're thinking pull on this pitch right here, you're going to pop it up or hit it on the ground. He goes right with it. Inside out swing down the left field line. Dug out of the corner by Pierce, and then he one-hops the cutoff man, and that allows Donaldson to score all the way from first base, and Navarro cashes them both in with a double.
For the 3rd time in 4 games, the Blue Jays have scored 4 or more runs in an inning. Justin Smoke. That is Don Cheedy talking to Kevin Gausman. Tom Cheedy's the bullpen coach. Kevin Gausman is working out of the bullpen. He's not really starting to throw yet. There's still only one out. 0-2 on Justin Smoke, the Blue Jays first baseman. Smoke started game 2 against the Yankees and had a double in his first at bat. He finished up that game 1 for 4. Boy, Blue Jays have taken the excitement out of this opening day crowd early.
They were fired up, weren't they? Opening day in Baltimore is always special. The fans come out, they get into it. Blue Jays got them sitting on their hands right now.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Navarro at second. The high fly ball into center. Jones over to his right a bit. Makes the catch to down. Well, you talk about getting to a starting pitcher. You get to him in the first inning and elevate his pitch count. He's thrown 34 pitches here already this afternoon.
That's the number I'm looking at right now. 34 pitches in the first inning. Again, early in the season, managers don't like to blow through their starters, and they'll probably cap them around 90, 100 pitches. Blue Jays making him work, and they're hitting the ball hard. They're not getting fooled right now.
Well, we thought it might be a good matchup for the Blue Jays because Norris throws a lot of fastballs. He comes at you. His fastball's hard. The slider is firm. This is Kevin Pillar. Pillar had a good start to his season against the Yankees. He went 4 for 12 in the 3-game series. Picked up an RBI. Kevin Pillar, the 8th Blue Jay to bat in the opening inning. Bouncing ball. Machado at third takes his time on the money. But the Blue Jays break through early against Bud Norris. They've never beaten Norris. Mark Buehrle will go to the mound with a 4-0 lead, due in part to this 2-run double by Deanna Navarro, his battery mate. League East Division by 12 games. They are in the hole early. Let's take a look at their lineup. Cabrera, Pierce, Jones, top of the order. Chris Davis back in the cleanup spot. Pierce had a terrific run against the Blue Jays last year, and overall, Steve Pierce had 21 home runs. 3 of those came against the Blue Jays. Delman Young against Mark Buehrle. No one hits Buehrle as well as Delman Young. 21 for 50. These two both spent a lot of time in the American League Central Division. Young with the Twins and Buehrle, of course, with the White Sox.
Mark Buehrle, there are his numbers from last year. 32 starts, 13-10. Those 13 wins, that's the 11th time he has won at least 13 games in a season in his 14 big league years. Working with a familiar guy behind the plate in Deanna Navarro. Those guys seem to get their chemistry together last year.
Buehrle has thrown to a lot of different catchers, and he really doesn't have a preference about a catcher. He just wants him to give him a sign quickly, and you can see how quickly Buehrle works. He misses with that pitch. It's a leadoff man Everett Cabrera, who is a switch hitter. This is his first season with the Orioles. Spent 7 years with the Padres. Didn't mean to and fouls it off the screen. Cabrera signed late with the Orioles. J.J. Hardy, the regular shortstop and Gold Glover, is on the disabled list. He hurt his shoulder in spring training. It's his left shoulder, but he's progressing well. Smoke at first will flip to Buehrle. And Buehrle, the Gold Glover, makes it easily. Good play by Smoke and Buehrle, 1 down. The defense for the Blue Jays has improved dramatically. It's much more athletic with Pilar, Pompey, and Bautista in the outfield. Josh Donaldson and Reyes on the left side. Travis has been great early on for the Blue Jays in the field. Justin Smoke's a terrific defender at first, and the veteran Yana Navarro teams up with Mark Buehrle.
And this afternoon, the guy we're going to watch out there defensively after that first inning is that guy right there, Jose Reyes, still trying to get that side loosened up after that check swing in the first inning.
It's cold afternoon, obviously, and Reyes tweaked something in that first at bat. This is Steve Pearce. We mentioned his numbers against the Blue Jays. He had a .321 season with 3 home runs against Toronto last year. A breakthrough season for Pearce. He's bounced around. Originally played his first 5 seasons in the big leagues with the Pirates. He's had 2 different stints with the Orioles. And last year he had his big breakout season.
How about that? 21 home runs, 49 RBIs. He played some left field. He played some first base and really came into his own.
This is popped up behind home plate. Navarro flips the mask away and has it go off his glove. Boy, I would have liked to see him throw that mask away a lot sooner. If he discards that mask, then he can concentrate on the baseball. But he held on to that catcher's mask for a long time.
Any ball that goes up, it's not going to come straight down. Here's what you're talking about there. He's got it in his hand, gets rid of it. Now the ball's moving on him, and it just glances off of his glove for an error.
An error on the catcher. You certainly don't want to give a home run hitter an extra pitch. If you can retire him on a pop-up, you'd love to take advantage of that.
Yeah, not when you've got Jones and Davis coming up right behind him.
The Orioles led the American League in home runs a year ago. And they love to hit in this ballpark. There's a breaking ball, and Buehrle takes care of his battery mate. The air doesn't hurt.
Let's take a look at the scouting report for Mark Buehrle. And for Buehrle, you can expect a little bit of everything. He's a master at changing speeds and hitting his spots. He'll use the fastball. It's just 84 miles an hour, one of the slowest in all of baseball. But he'll use the changeup very effectively. He'll cut the ball in and out, a little bit of a curveball. He's the kind of guy that's got to hit his spots, obviously, but he is so smart. He's been around. He's got so much experience to draw from.
Well, Buehrle is a workhorse. There's no question about it, and he never gets too worked up about crooked numbers. This is Adam Jones, the center fielder, and Jones takes ball 2. This is a tough lineup for Buehrle, as we've mentioned. Combined, the lineup has hit .389 against Buehrle for their career with 9 home runs. There are a lot of tough outs for Buehrle in this lineup.
And he has had his problems here in Camden Yards also. Just 3 and 5 for his career with an ERA of over 4.
There's a deep drive to left field, and Adam Jones has just put the Orioles on the board. For Jones, that's his first homer of the season. Gives him 3 RBIs early on.
Well, that was a good piece of hitting right there from Adam Jones. How he tracked that high breaking ball and kept his hands inside the ball. The barrel of the bat went through the baseball. It did not go around the baseball. High cutter, and watch his hands stay inside it and the barrel go through the ball for the home run. Again, that's been a problem here for Buehrle in this ballpark. That's 12 home runs he's given up in Camden Yards.
Yeah, this is a hitter's ballpark for sure. Buck Showalter wanted to know what that last pitch was that Jones hit out of the ballpark, and he said it's a breaking ball, a little cutter that didn't break. Smoke with a nice play, and Buehrle is there in time to retire Davis. Justin Smoke can absolutely pick it at first, and when he teams up with the Gold Glover, it's a good combination. Smoke takes a hit away from Chris Davis. Buehrle hustling off the mound. Nice work defensively by the Jays.
Rogers Share Everything customer traveling to the U.S. You can share your experience and stay connected with Roam Like Home for just $5 a day. Visit Rogers.com/RoamLikeHome for details. Buck?
Thank you, Barry. And you can see it is a cool afternoon here in Baltimore. Fans are bundled up. But as Pat mentioned, this is a baseball city, and they love opening day. I was looking out my hotel window, and the window washers on their bosun's chairs across the way had Orioles uniforms on. They were about the 8th floor up there washing windows, and they had Orioles jerseys on. This is Devin Travis. He's had a nice start to his big league career. Down Blue Jays second baseman in New York. He went 3 for 9 and hit his first big league home run. 4-1 Blue Jays. Travis looks right at home so far.
You know, and kudos to the Blue Jays scouting staff who saw him in AA last year. As a member of the Detroit Tigers, sent in information to the Blue Jays, and keep an eye on this guy.
The scout was Dave May. And Dave May's father, Davey May, played for the Orioles. Signed with the Orioles early on, and Dave May, his responsibility was the Tigers organization, and he saw Travis play in AA. Said, I really like his bat. He can turn a double play, and I believe he will be at least an average defender. That's good work by the Blue Jays scouting corps.
Yes, it is. And they get together and they talk about it. And when a trade opportunity came up with the Detroit Tigers, they wanted Anthony Ghost. Blue Jays had that name already scouted, Devin Travis.
But looking at strike 3, Norris strikes out Travis to begin the top of the second.
Well, he has stayed down here for the most part. When he needs a strike, he goes down in the strike zone. Devin Travis, only 5'9". He thought that ball was under the knees. But it's the first strikeout of the afternoon for Bud Norris.
We mentioned the Blue Jays have never beaten Bud Norris. He's 4-0. This is his 7th career start. Reyes hits it on the ground. Scope at second. 2 up, 2 down here in the second. Reyes not showing any further signs of the side being an issue. In his first at bat, he tweaked something on his left side. It bothered him throughout the entire at bat, but he ended up with a leadoff single and scored the first run of the ball game. So now it's Dalton Pompey hitting second for the first time this season. He had a double in the first. You were talking to Brooke Jacoby, the hitting coach, about Pompey, and he said overall Pompey had some pretty good swings in New York.
He's had some good swings. They're not looking at the results right now. Let's see what your approach is at the plate. And they feel like the approach has been pretty good. He's gotten under a couple of balls where that back shoulder dropped just a little bit and he lofted fly balls to left field. But for the most part, he's had good at bats. He's hit a couple of balls hard. Hit a ball hard in the first inning, didn't he?
He stalled it and doubled into right. Good pitch. 2 balls and a strike. Bud Norris was acquired by the Orioles July 31st, 2013. Comebacker. 3 up, 3 down. Good bounce back inning for Bud Norris. Blue Jays go quietly in the second.
Dalton Pompey on deck. Sunday, 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. It's a special look at a special player. Looking ahead to his upcoming season and looking back at his rapid rise through the Blue Jays system. Dalton Pompey on deck Sunday on Sportsnet. Buck, there's some great moments in there, including when he called his parents to let them know that he made the team and would be the opening day center fielder. Just a great moment.
It'll be a great opportunity to learn a little bit more about Dalton Pompey. This is Delman Young goes after the first pitch, and he's retired 6-3 on the putout. Reyes appears to be okay at short, and that's good news. He is anxious to stay on the field. Jose made 141 starts for the Blue Jays last season, despite the fact that he went on the DL after the first game.
Yeah, he had some leg problems a lot in his career. Watching him in between innings there, watching if there's any residue or after effect of that check swing, to be okay. He moved well there. You can see him still trying to work that out. But his lateral movement looked pretty good on that ground ball.
Manny Machado, the third baseman. Machado just 3 for 12 against Buehrle, and that might reflect his youth. Buehrle can exploit the youngsters as they chase a lot of borderline pitches where the veterans make him throw strikes.
Yeah, and he hasn't seen that much of him, doesn't know that much about him. And Buehrle will change speeds. He'll drop that change up on Machado. He's just a good looking player. Unfortunately, the last couple of years he's been robbed of some playing time because of knee problems.
Serious knee surgeries, and Machado's still just 22 years old. He made his debut in 2012 as a 19-year-old. Hard hit, backhanded by Donaldson, takes his time. Couple of ground ball outs for Buehrle here, and that's going to be key to his success in this ballpark. Keep the ball on the ground, and I've never seen a ground ball go out of the ballpark.
Not yet, at least. Every ball that has been hit on the ground has been an out. The only ball in the air today has been a home run, so you're right. Mark Buehrle's a fly ball type of pitcher, but when he's got that changeup working and that cutter and he's keeping it down, he can make that opposition beat it right into the ground.
This is Travis Snyder. He jumps on the first pitch, and the former Blue Jay gets a 2-out single. Snyder in his first season with the Orioles. Travis is now 27 years old. He was the #1 pick of the Blue Jays in 2006, and here he just strokes it into center.
He's had a good start to his Oriole career. Had a good series in Tampa where the Orioles opened up, winning 2 out of 3. Aggressive against Buehrle. First pitch swinging.
Jonathan Schoop, the second baseman. Schoop is from Willemstad, Curaçao. He was signed by the Orioles as a non-drafted free agent. He gets a base hit to left field. Snyder rounds second. He'll stop there. Back-to-back 2-out singles.
And that thing about the Orioles, I'll tell you, they make you earn every out. I don't care where you are in the batting order. They're going to battle you. So you got to constantly make good pitches. They might not be household names like Jonathan Schoop, Caleb Joseph, but they can do the job. It's an off-speed pitch, thigh high, right in the middle of the plate.
This is Caleb Joseph, the catcher. Matt Wieters is on the disabled list. He is coming back from Tommy John surgery, and there is no timetable for Wieters' return. Joseph played 77 games behind the plate a year ago. It's 2 balls and no strikes. This Orioles team hit 211 home runs last year. That was the most in the majors, and 25 more than the Colorado Rockies, who finished second.
You can see early on that the strike zone in and out is a little bit thinner than the one up and down. We've seen Bud Norris get the calls on the low pitches. Mark Buehrle is not getting the ones on the corners.
And after 2 quick ground ball outs, single, walk, bases are loaded. Back to the top of the order, Everett Cabrera, the shortstop. Cabrera grounded out to the first baseman in his first at-bat. These two teams are going to go toe-to-toe offensively all season long. They both have good lineups. They just won't chase that borderline pitch.
They've seen enough of Mark Buehrle over the years, and they've got veteran hitters. They know what he features, and they're going to try and make him get that ball up.
The Blue Jays were 4-6 here a year ago in this ballpark. They've not had a winning season at Oriole Park at Camden Yards since 2011. They went 6-3 that year, so they've had 3 consecutive losing seasons in this ballpark. Fly ball to right field. Batista will make the grab. Buehrle gets out of it. We move to the third. The Blue Jays have a 4-1 lead. Batting second when we come back to Baltimore, Edwin Encarnacion. Big series in New York. A couple of homers. He's got an RBI already today.
Visit Rogers Center April the 19th, and on that day at 1:07, the first 20,000 fans will receive a Jose Bautista bobblehead. Call 416-341-1234 or BlueJays.com for tickets. And for these events, you want to get there early. Fans get there and line up for these very hard-to-get items. Buck?
Sure will be a special day at Rogers Center. Jose Bautista very popular, and why not? He's a superstar player. Two-time home run champ. And he'll give away his bobblehead this next Sunday when the Blue Jays will entertain the Atlanta Braves. We move to the third. Bautista with an RBI single his first time up.
Keep the heat on right here. That's what I'd like to see the Blue Jays do. They went very quietly in that second inning after getting 4 in the first.
Bautista drills it down the left side. That's a fair ball up against the wall. He makes the turn. He heads to second, and all things are good once again with Bautista. 2 hits already against Norris.
There's a good start right there in the third inning. A little slider that was just hanging over the middle of the plate for Bautista. When he got that slider thrown to him in New York, it was off the plate, down and away or up and away. They tried to go there. Look at this one, right where he likes it, down and in, and he didn't miss it.
Boy, that is a perfect depiction of what hitters call a hanging slider. It was supposed to be down and away. It spun on the inner half, and Bautista did what you're supposed to do. He smoked it. Encarnacion, nobody out.
He's missing with that pitch, isn't he? That one was supposed to be down and away, and it hung over the middle of the plate.
Edwin had a sacrifice fly to center field his first time. We have seen both Bautista and Encarnacion in the last couple of seasons when they really have an opportunity with runners in scoring position. They will use the whole field. I mean, obviously they're both power hitters, and the majority of their hits are going to go to the left. But when they get 2 strikes, a chance to drive in a run, they'll shift gears a bit.
We've seen Edwin. You saw those first couple of swings a little bit long, a little bit too hard, and then when he gets to 2 strikes, he'll cut it down just a little bit. That's when he gets that breaking ball and is hanging over the plate. Because he has slowed his swing down and because he has shortened up his swing, that's the one that he connects on.
Well, and you could see that last pitch he took, because he had 2 strikes, he wasn't really loading up with a powerful swing, and he saw the ball very well. There's something good to be said about a 2-strike approach. Makes you watch the baseball.
He'd be out here begging for those pitchers, trying to get him out with a breaking ball. If they miss with it, because he's had that good approach, he was banging the ball all over the ballpark.
Ground ball, that'll move Bautista to third. Encarnacion is out 6-3, but a productive at bat. As a base runner, when you see that shortstop have to go to his left when you're at second base, you can move up.
You know, and as a runner at second base, when that ball's hit right at you, sometimes you tend to freeze. Jose didn't freeze at all. He got a secondary lead. He bounced off of second base, recognized the ball right at him, took another step, and he made it without a throw. Now the infield has to come in.
Not exactly what you want to do against a power hitter like Donaldson. I tell you what, there's some wicked swings in the middle of this order.
I don't think any of them get cheated, do you?
No, they're not thinking about feathering a soft single to right early in their at-bats. Good at-bat for Encarnacion. Once he got to 2 strikes, he had a productive at-bat.
How about Manny Machado at third base? They got the infield in. You can see the shortstop Cabrera is on the grass. Machado respecting the power of Donaldson is back.
Well, and if he hits it to the third baseman, it's going to be sharply hit. It'll get to Machado quickly. And Manny's got a cannon for an arm, so he's not concerned about being deep at third and having to make a throw to the plate.
Just this defensive alignment right here with them in. Bautista's not going to try and score on the ground ball. He's going to make the ball go through.
That's a fly ball. Batista's tagging at third. Snyder loads up. Here's the throw to the plate. It's offline and late. Encarnacion will get some credit for that RBI as he moved Batista to third. Donaldson cashes in with the sacrifice fly. Tack on run for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, that's what we were talking at the beginning of this inning. Quick inning in the second inning. Get back on there and get that run back that the Orioles scored in the bottom of the first inning. Leadoff double, move him on a grounder, and score on a sacrifice fly.
Batista with the leadoff double scores the 5th Jays run of the afternoon. He did a nice job of base running too, just moving up to third base on the 6-3 ground ball. Johnny Navarro had a 2-run single his first time up, capping off that 4-run first. Drives this ball to center and deep. Jones is back near the track, makes the catch going away from the infield. Gianni Navarro getting his first start behind the plate, swinging the bat well.
Honda CR-V is the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays and Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
Opening day, that is Utah Street beyond the fence in right field as the fans continue to pour into Oriole Park at Camden Yards. And you can see they have their umbrellas out. There's a little bit of a drizzle falling. But it's an otherwise glorious day as baseball's back in Baltimore. Certainly their pregame ceremony was special. Jim Palmer, the Hall of Fame pitcher who pitched for the Orioles, he was honored for his 50th anniversary of his first year in the majors. Came in the league in '65.
He doesn't even look like he's 50 years old, let alone being in the organization for 50 years.
Jim Palmer is working on the TV crew with Mike Bordick, a couple of great ball players in their own right. As a ball hit the left, Pilar will make the grab just short of the warning track. Mark Buehrle with a 4-run lead. We mentioned Jim Palmer, a Hall of Fame pitcher, got to throw out the first pitch here on opening day in Baltimore, and his catcher was his catcher as a player, Rick Dempsey.
And did you notice where he was throwing it from?
Right on the mound. He would never throw it anything short of the mound.
No, you tell everybody, okay, here's Depper right there, letting everybody know he's in the ballpark, but everybody stands in front of the mound to deliver it. We're like, no way, Jim Palmer's not going to do that.
Jim Palmer has to throw from the mound. This is Adam Jones, who homered his first time up. Jones is now in his 8th season with the Orioles. He started out with the Seattle Mariners, played parts of 2 seasons in Seattle. Pilar will let that ball get by him. Jones is headed for second, thinking about third. Pilar recovers and gets the ball back to the infield. Adam Jones is 2 for 2 with a homer and a double.
An outfielder has to make split-second decisions. They have to know the hitter, know who's pitching, and know the situation. You got to make the decision, should I go for this ball and try and make a shoestring catch, or lay back and keep the double play in order? You can see that ball hit way out in front of Kevin Pilar. He would have been better off if he just laid back, knocked the ball down, played it on a hop, and keep the double play in order. Now they've got a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, there's a time to go for that shoestring catch, and there are times to be wise and to back off. Hot shot. Travis gets piece of it, but it's off his glove. Jones will stop at third. Davis aboard with a hard hit single. The ball is really hit hard when it handcuffs the second baseman who's in right field.
And it's got some serious topspin on it also. We were watching Devin Travis before the ball game take ground balls off the bat of Tomorrow Hale in short right field on balls just like that. But Davis creates such topspin. Watch this ball hit and then really handcuff Travis in right field. It's wet in the outfield from a little bit of rain that we have seen, so he knocks it down but can't make a play.
Here is Dillman Young, who grounded out on the first pitch, and he hits it to third. Donaldson to second for one. Good turn by Travis. Devin Travis really hung in there against big Chris Davis. This is something the Blue Jays recognized when he was in the minors, that he could really turn the double play. Donaldson makes a good throw, and look at the youngster hang tough against Davis.
For the Honda opening series, it's the Jays welcoming in the Tampa Bay Rays April 13th through 16th. The Honda home opener is sold out, but tickets remain for the rest of the series. You can call 416-341-1234 or BlueJays.com. And fans, if you are heading down to the games this year, specifically opening day, arrive early. They have upped the security measurements, and it will take you a little bit longer to get into the ballpark. Buck?
Barry, the Blue Jays defense has improved dramatically, and that young man right there, 24-year-old Devin Travis, has had a lot to do with it.
Watch how quickly Donaldson, first of all, gets rid of this ball, gets a good throw over to Travis, and then he hangs in there. hangs in there and just throws a strike over to first base to continue the double play and finish it off. That is something the Blue Jays have had trouble with, turning tough double plays when they need it to save them runs. The scouting report on him was he turns a good double play. He's got a good arm. He showed it off right there.
Just didn't smoke. Drills it into the seats. That's the type of play that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. If Travis doesn't turn that double play, there's no error on the play. But Jones scores from third. You turn that double play, Orioles will strand a base runner, and you keep it a 5-1 score.
And no earned run for Mark Buehrle. Little things within the game that you see, when you watch, that don't show up in the scorecard.
Ground ball has got a chance to sneak through, and it does. Justin Smoke hits one through the shift for a base hit. Leadoff man aboard. The Blue Jays have had the leadoff man on in 3 of the first 4 innings.
You know, and to finish that thought one more time about defense, there was a play in New York yesterday that we saw where Devin Travis, even though he's a young player, went behind first base, got the relay from Danny Valencia, and got a big out off of Didi Gregorius, or that ball game might have changed.
Yeah, at that time they had scored their first run, and Didi Gregorius got too anxious, went around the bag, and Travis was there to tag him out. Kevin Pillar with a runner at first. Pillar grounded out to third, back in the first. Two good pitches, and Norris is ahead. 0-2.
Kevin Pillar looking for a breaking ball. Norris crossed him up, threw him a couple of fastballs right there.
Well, that's okay. If you are indeed looking for a breaking ball, the one thing you don't want to do is swing at a fastball. Now you have to just protect the plate with 2 strikes. And he did. This is going to drop down the right side. It's a fair ball. Smoke is around second. He's headed for third. Pillar better keep an eye on him. Pillar had to stop. He was headed for third, thinking that Smoke might score. What a good 2-strike approach for Kevin Pillar. And look who's at second base to back up the play, the center fielder.
Adam Jones, one too many times. He was ready for it that time. Drops the barrel of the bat on the ball, keeps it fair down the right field line. Now he's got to pick up the coach right here. He's thinking triple, assuming that they were going to score Smoke from first base. So he's got to throw up the brakes.
You can't assume that with nobody out. Smoke stops at third. Pillar's at second. Number 9 hitter Devin Travis. Infield is halfway. Travis caught looking at strike 3, his first time up.
Now this is where everybody has to be on the same page. He's going to let Luis Rivera's going to let Justin Smoke know what they want to do on a ground ball, and then he will flash a sign to Kevin Pillar and let him know what Smoke is going to do. They've got to make the ball go through with the infield in.
Bases are loaded. Travis gets hit by a pitch. But Norris creating problems for himself. Devin Travis going to first base, got hit by that fastball inside. So Reyes will step to the plate with nobody out. But Showalter has popped out of the dugout. He's already made the call. That's Brad Brock, who is coming into this ball game. So the Blue Jays knock Bud Norris out of the game as they put up 5 runs on 7 hits. Bases are loaded. Brad Brock into the game. During the break, George Poulos came out of the dugout to have a look at him. Take a look at how he exposes that hand. He got hit right on the fat pad of that right hand. And then in the break, George Poulos, the head trainer, came out to attend to Travis. He is still in the ballgame. New pitcher is Brad Brock, who is making his third appearance already this season.
A little bit of a good luck charm for him last year. 7-1 record out of the bullpen in 46 innings. He throws very hard. He's got a good sinker, good slider, ground ball specialist. That's what they're looking for right here in some multiple innings this afternoon after Norris gets knocked out after 3.
So a chance to kick the door wide open for the Blue Jays here in the fourth. Bases loaded. Nobody out. Reyes 1 for 2 so far. The infield, everybody but Machado playing for 2. Machado will probably come home if he gets a ball at third. There you see the defense up the middle in double play depth. Chris Davis at first, same, and Machado on the edge of the grass at third. Ripped back to the screen.
Throws just hard enough to really keep you on that fastball. That one was 91 miles an hour with some movement. He's got a slider and a changeup that he gets good movement on, a lot of ground balls from.
Orioles turned 5 double plays behind Brock last year, and there's that off-speed pitch, big strikeout for Brandon Beck.
Doesn't overpower you, but he really works on keeping the ball down, getting a lot of sinking action on that two-seamer. Watch the tailing motion on this changeup. You see him dig it back in those fingers, side spin, and it's just too much for Reyes. He's a little bit anxious.
Brock did a pretty good job a year ago stranding inherited base runners. He allowed just 28% of those inherited base runners to score. Pompey now with 1 out. Base hit to right. That's going to drop. 1 run is in. Smoke crosses the plate. Pilar's right behind him. Travis goes to third, and Dalton Pompey with a pair of doubles, hitting second for the first time this season.
You know, and the whole idea was to get him going, putting him in the number 2 hole. Maybe you'll get some more fastballs with runners on base with some speed. First time up, he doubled into right field off the first pitch fastball. He gets another one here from Brad Brock and cleans up those bases. Smoke scores, Pilar scores, and Travis goes over to third.
For Pompey, he delivers in his first career at bat with the bases loaded. Drives in a pair. Batista 2 for 2. And he's now 3 for 3. Travis had to hold up at third as you weren't sure if that ball was going to land safely, but it does. Batista, everybody was ready to bench him after a slow start in New York. He's 3 for 3 with 3 ribbies.
He's got numbers on the back of that baseball card. He's not going anywhere. Jose likes hitting in this ballpark. He's got a couple of singles and a double. He scored a couple of runs so far, and this time he's not wasting any time. You got runners in scoring position. Slider off the end of the bat. He finds a hole. The infield playing halfway. That works out for the Blue Jays. Scope cannot come up with that one. It's 8-1.
Pompey moves to third. Encarnacion fouls it at home plate. This is a tough lineup. Balanced up and down the order. Bottom third got this inning started, as they've done frequently so far early on. It is so important, as we mentioned earlier, you're playing the first game of a 3-game series. Blue Jays have knocked the starter out here in the fourth, and they're into the Orioles bullpen early.
Buck Showalter is carrying 8 pitchers early in the season, just like the Blue Jays, for these types of games.
Encarnacion strikes out. Second out of the inning. Brock has struck out Reyes and Encarnacion this inning. But Pompey and Bautista have doubled and singled respectively. Josh Donaldson off to a perfect start to his day. He walked and scored in the first, had a sac fly in the third. You start messing around with Donaldson inside, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, we saw that in spring training 6 times. He went deep 6 times in spring training. He's got that ability to cover the plate. You miss a ball inside, he'll turn on it.
Ball is hit to center field and beyond the reach of Jones. Pompey's in this score. Batista's getting the wave around third, and there'll be no throw. Josh Donaldson, 2 more RBIs here. He's had a 3-ribby day.
Boy, that is why he is such a good run producer. He didn't try and yank that ball to left field. It was a hanging slider. We've seen a few of those this afternoon from the Baltimore Orioles, but he stayed on top of it. There's a slider, it's spinning, and watch him just drive through that ball to right center field. Head down, nice finish. He doesn't try and yank it. He hits it into the gap in right center field and plates 2 more.
Donaldson's going to love hitting in this division with all these hitter ballparks. Yonder Navarro. Yonder had a 2-run double in the first. Navarro, the 9th J to bat this inning. 5 runs in here in the 4th. Ground ball, Machado standing right there at third and in the inning. But not before the Blue Jays put up 5 more runs on 4 hits. Josh Donaldson, a 2-run double. Dalton Pompey batting second for the first time, has a pair of doubles and a couple of runs scored. 2 RBIs for Pompey on this double.
Baseball stories. Sign up at nextissue.ca/baseball and get an extended 60-day free trial.
Next issue is going to be busy if the Blue Jays continue to swing the bats like this. 10 runs on 10 hits, and we're in the 4th inning. Mark Buehrle says, keep it up, boys.
Yeah. You know who else is saying that too? John Gibbons. He was talking earlier today that he's got 3 relievers who are down for this game.
Machado drills it into center. Pompey back at the warning track, makes a nice running catch. The Orioles are hitting Buehrle hard, but he has been helped out by some nifty defense.
Well, he's doing it with his bat, and now Dalton Pompey is going to do it with his glove. Looking like Adam Jones here in center field, and Camden Yards running that one down to take away extra bases.
Pompey admired Adam Jones as a youngster watching the Orioles center fielder play. Now he gets to match him play for play here in the big leagues. Travis Snyder, we mentioned, he's the former Blue Jay. He was a first-round pick in 2006.
But I was just talking about the relievers who are not available today. John Gibbons was saying, hey, I'd love to be able to get out to a big start here and have some runs scored early where I don't have to use them, which he's not going to.
Yeah, and he can get some of those relievers into games that hasn't worked yet.
Yeah. Brett Cecil's down and Castro and Osuna are down.
We haven't seen Redmond, Hendricks, or Estrada.
Or Cole
Hines. So it'll be a great opportunity just to get them into a ball game. Of course, you're not going to concede that this game is over by any means.
No, not against the Orioles, not in this ballpark.
The Blue Jays already in this young season have scored 4 or more runs 4 times in an inning this season. That leads the majors. And you know what talk has been around baseball? Where's the offense? Well, right now, folks, it's north of the border. Check swing, and Snyder, it's called for that swing. It looked like it may have hit his hand. His hand, you can see him messing with his hands as he checked his swing and put his hands out over the plate. And John Gibbons is saying, wait a minute, what is that? You ask him if he swung at it, and now we're calling it a foul ball. And he said, yes, we did call it a foul ball.
One more look at it. Yeah, foul tip right off the bat.
Yeah, just above the hands. Full count. Travis Snyder was with the Blue Jays until a July 31st trade. It took place in Seattle. It was his hometown. He got traded to Pittsburgh for Brad Lincoln, the reliever. Another foul out of play. We mentioned Travis is now 27 years old. He came to the big leagues in 2008 with the Blue Jays. Got into 24 games that rookie season, hit .301. This is popped up a mile high. Navarro this time casts the mask aside and makes the catch.
The 2015 Honda CR-V is the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays and Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
Mark Buehrle looking for his 200th career win. If he wins this ball game, he'll be the 4th active pitcher with 200 wins or more. He picked up win number 199 in his last start at the end of last season against Seattle. This is popped up. Navarro again flips the mask aside. He's getting a good test here this afternoon. So Buehrle is through 4. Blue Jays lead at 10-1. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zaun.
Blue Jay fans, it is Fantasy Camp November 15th to 20th in Dunedin, Florida. Join Roberto Alomar, George Bell, Jesse Barfield, and many more for the ultimate Major League experience. Package includes airfare, hotel, meals, uniform, and 4 days of baseball. Spots are limited. Go to BlueJays.com/fantasycamp for more details. No Buck or Tabby there. That is a bit of a disappointment.
It's hard to fathom a fantasy camp without Pat Tabby or Buck Martinez there, but
not yet.
Not yet. It's a long way away. It's a great opportunity to get down to Florida and see some of the former Blue Jays, and a lot of fun.
So you think you can play, right?
Yeah. Isn't that fun to watch?
You'll see how hard this game is to play firsthand.
This is Justin Smoke. He started that 5-run fourth inning with a single to right. Came with 2 strikes and crossed up the shift as he hit it right through the shift. I believe that Smoke is going to have a big season. I think batting him down in the order, he's in the 7th spot right here. He kind of gets lost in the shuffle of all these great bats. This guy's had a 20 home run season in the past in a big ballpark in Seattle.
And he was a #1 pick. He's got, I think, all the tools and the chances to be pretty good. He's made a little bit of an adjustment with his swing, where he's leveled that bat out just a little bit. And he's not so much in between. And by that I mean he didn't know if he was an on-base guy or a batting average guy or a power guy. Right now, Brooke Jacoby and Eric Owens have said, get out there and swing. Let me see some production.
Smoke strikes out, 1 down. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. We're in the 5th inning here in Baltimore. It's the Orioles' home opener. And the Blue Jays have rained on their parade early. Blue Jays jumped on the starter, Bud Norris, for 4 runs in the first and knocked him out in the 4th inning when they put up 5 runs on 5 hits. Ground ball. Machado at third takes his time. 2 down. Manny Machado, just 22 years old. He's already won a Gold Glove. He is a natural shortstop that moved to third base in 2012 in the minor leagues, and he's come up here. And when he's healthy, he is as good a player as there is at third base.
You know, they had a good team last year, a really good team, but unfortunately for them, Machado was hurt at the end of last year with the knee problems. Chris Davis got the suspension. Those are 2 big bats, and then the Matt Wieters injury last year. And then Kansas City caught him at the right time and swept him in the championship series. If not, Baltimore, they would have been right there.
Baltimore won 96 games, and they won their 9th American League East title. They clinched it on September 16th. It's the 2nd best record in the American League behind the Angels. It was their first AL East title since 1997. Been quite a drought here.
We got to watch that too. That was against the Blue Jays, and they're going to honor that 1997 team, I believe, after the game today for the championship series.
Evan Travis, the second baseman, swings right through it. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Travis got hit by a pitch. His last at bat came around to score. Van Brock in relief of Bud Norris. Norris goes 3+ innings. He's charged with 8 earned runs on 7 hits. Travis gets a piece of it to stay alive. Well, that's what's so tough about being a pitcher. You have a couple of bad innings and that ERA will skyrocket to start the season. Norris leaves his first start with a 24 earned run average.
3+ innings and 8 earned runs, and got to go to work. It'll take a couple of starts to get it down.
Up the middle. Travis has a base hit. He just continues to swing the bat well. He was shut out in yesterday's game, but picked up an RBI on a ground ball out. Got a base hit here. He's been aboard twice.
Stays right on this slider. Look at the thing spinning up there. He's got enough plate coverage to go out there and get it and square it up and hit it right back through the middle.
Well, we can't say enough about the Blue Jays scouting staff. Dave May was responsible for the Tigers organization. He identified Devin Travis as somebody they'd like to get. There's a little looper down the right side. Fair ball for Reyes. Travis is around second. He will stop at third base as Jose Reyes has a couple of hits. Back-to-back two-out hits here in the fifth.
Blue Jays are hitting everything this afternoon. Swing it. If you hit it, it's going to find a hole. Reyes will pick up his second hit of the afternoon. Brad Brock's fastball on the inner half, and Jose pulls the hands in. Lofts it down the right field line for extra bases. Devin Travis came around. Watch him coming around second base. Hits the bag, and it looked like he started slowing up, like the ball was going to be caught, or maybe it was a foul ball down the right field line.
We've seen that a couple of times with some of the younger players early this season, where they assume something is going to happen on the field and then it's burnt them. We saw Travis make a base running mistake in spring training when he lost count of how many outs there were. They'll tap it back to the mound. Pompey is retired. The inning is over, but the Blue Jays get a couple of more hits. They lead it 10-1 as we head to the bottom of the fifth. Mark Buehrle looking for win 200. One lead. Let's check in with Barry Davis.
Well, Buck, there are a number of pitchers on the Blue Jays staff in the bullpen that have yet to see any action so far this season. One of them is Marco Estrada. I spoke to him, and he would love to pitch. He says he's very anxious, but at the same time, he understands that's his role right now in an 8-man pen, and he may not pitch for a week at a time. But then there are others, guys like Todd Redmond, Liam Hendricks. Both of them are out of options. When Michael Saunders returns, John Gibbons says the plan is to go back to a 7-man bullpen. They both need to get some innings to prove that they belong to stay up with the big team, but it's hard to prove yourself when you're sitting down there not getting the chance. For both of them, there could be this afternoon. Buck?
You're right, Barry. I think we'll probably see a couple of those guys you mentioned. This is Caleb Joseph, who drills it to the wall in left, and it's off the wall. Pompey plays it, knocks it down. Caleb Joseph just missed hitting it out of the ballpark. A leadoff double here in the fifth.
9 home runs last year for Caleb Joseph. He's going to get some playing time now with Matt Wieters out. It looked like a high changeup from Mark Buehrle. It just floated over the middle of the plate. He's got some pop, just missed it, hit middle of the wall. That ball was up and out. Took a little something off of that one. A good start for the Orioles here in the fifth.
Joseph leading it off. He's the number 9 hitter. That'll turn the lineup over. This is the shortstop for Buehrle. Cabrera has gone 0 for 2. He's grounded out and flied out. Buehrle was able to get Cabrera to end the second. The Orioles had the bases loaded. They were in danger of getting right back in the ball game. At that time, it was a 4-1 ball game. Bases loaded, 2 outs, but Buehrle was able to get Cabrera to fly out to Batista to end the inning.
Good running catch by Jose in right field.
One thing Buehrle doesn't want to do in this ballpark, especially with a 9-run lead, is walk in the Orioles. He's going to give up contact.
Yeah.
They have hit him hard this afternoon, but at the same time, you get good defense. The Blue Jays have played well behind Buehrle. You just don't want to walk yourself into some crooked numbers in this ballpark.
Get through this inning. He's done a good job of making them hit their way on.
Big swing from Cabrera. Buehrle is back into the count at 3-2.
Well, I don't think he was thinking about getting on base. He's not a home run hitter. He overswings on that one. Swings right through it. Buehrle will take that and use that to his advantage when he sees a guy starting to swing like that.
It's a fly ball toward right. Batista got a good read on it. Makes an easy catch. 1 out.
Make a grand entrance during the DIY Expert Sale. Only at Home Building Center and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
The left fielder, Steve Pearce, 0 for 2. Ground ball, Reyes at short. In time. Mark Buehrle, we mentioned he picked up his 199th win in his last start against the Mariners last season. Here's a list of the active win leaders. And Buehrle looking for that milestone win here this afternoon.
Yeah, trying to join Bartolo Colon, CC Sabathia, and Tim Hudson. What's interesting about that, look at the power pitchers on that. A.J. Burnett's a power pitcher. Bartolo Colon at one time was. CC certainly was. Now they're going to have to do it with finesse. Tim Hudson, that's pretty impressive because he's not really a big guy who is a power pitcher. He's also a finesse pitcher.
Hudson began his career with the Oakland A's. He was a part of that great pitching staff in Oakland. Larry Zito, Tim Hudson, and Mark Mulder. Been around a long time. Adam Jones has a home run and a double. He is now 13 for 33 against Mark Buehrle with a pair of home runs. Buehrle knows these guys hit him hard. We had mentioned their combined batting average over 380. This lineup coming into this game has hit over 380 against Mark Buehrle.
So he has to concentrate on making pitches, changing speeds. I think that's very important because the Oriole hitters are very good fastball hitters. He has to change speed, use that cutter, use that changeup. There's a change right there.
Could be a fastball too. 83 miles an hour. Mark Buehrle has been terrific throughout his career. He's never spent a day on the disabled list. He's never missed a start. Another base hit for Adam Jones. Joseph around third. He's going to score. Jones headed for second. They got a shot in there. Get him. The run counts as the tag was applied at second after the runner Joseph crossed the plate. Kevin Pillar, not taking anything for granted, hustled after it, made a strong throw to second. Pillar had 2 outfield assists a year ago. He turns and fires a strike, and Travis puts the tag on Jones. Tiger career. New pitcher into the game for the Orioles is Jason Garcia. He made the Orioles team out of spring training. He was a Rule 5 player that impressed the Orioles brass.
Yeah, you can see what he did in A-ball last year for the Boston Red Sox. He was in the New York Penn League in Lowell. 3-2, 367 earned run average. He got life and movement on that fastball. Mid to upper 90s fastball.
He has averaged nearly a strikeout an inning in his minor league career, and he pitched an A-ball last year. 17th round draft pick of the Red Sox in 2010. He comes from the Bronx. He was born in the Bronx and lives in Florida now. Big afternoon for Jose as he came into this game looking for his first hit, and he has 3 hits. He has driven in 3 and scored 3. And you spoke to the hitting coach, Rick Jacoby, and he said there's nothing wrong with Bautista. His hands are in a good spot. He's got that exaggerated leg kick. He was getting a steady diet of off-speed pitchers and had his timing off just a bit.
Just a little bit, maybe a little over anxious at times on pitches outside the zone, just trying to force the issue, force it to happen instead of letting the game come to him. This afternoon, he's let the game come to him. Single to right field his first time up. Also had another single to right field his third time up.
He takes ball 4. Bautista's been aboard 4 times. Garcia walks the first man he faces here this afternoon. This is the second appearance for Garcia. He pitched an inning against Tampa Bay in the season opening series down at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg.
Blue Jays got to look at Garcia in spring training. They faced him down in Sarasota towards the end of the spring. Fastball slider.
Garcia, we mentioned he signed with the Red Sox. He actually was selected by Houston in the Rule 5 draft and acquired by the Orioles in exchange for cash consideration. That took place on December 11th. Rule 5 draft has proven to be a productive tool for many organizations. The Blue Jays got George Bell as a Rule 5 player from the Philadelphia Phillies.
He used to own that part of collecting ball players. Kelly Gruber was a Rule 5 man. Lee was a Rule 5 player. Rule 5 is you're picked off of a roster from another organization and you have to stay in the big leagues if you're picked off a AAA roster for the whole season or offered back.
We saw that executive in the Orioles private box. That's Dan Duquette, the general manager of the Orioles. And of course, everybody that follows the Blue Jays heard Dan Duquette's name bandied about all winter long. But he is still the GM of the Orioles. Full count, nobody out to Edwin Encarnacion. Bautista with the leadoff walk. Donaldson's had a big day at the plate. He'll be next. This is the first of 3 here in Baltimore. Tomorrow, Aaron Sanchez will make his big league debut as a starter. He'll be matched up against Ubaldo Jimenez. Sanchez is thinking, you know what, you scored 10 runs, you could save a few of those for me. Daniel Norris on the left of Sanchez picked up his first big league win last night. And Sanchez, he's just 22 years old.
A lot of baby faces around the ball team this year, right?
Encarnacion had a good cut, strikes out. That is the first strikeout for Jason Garcia in his major league career. It's a pretty good name to put in your book if you're a pitcher. This is Josh Donaldson. He's had a perfect day at the plate. A walk, a sac fly, and a 2-run double.
It's got to be awfully tough on pitchers when they look in and they see Bautista and Encarnacion, Donaldson, and you see them up there swinging as hard as they do and as aggressive as they do. Start thinking, okay, now how am I going to get these guys out? What am I going to do to try and get them out? Can't blow the ball by him every single time.
Yeah, it's hard to power the ball past these Blue Jay hitters. They're good fastball hitters.
And they're smart hitters, too. They'll pick up if you start throwing breaking balls.
That's going to drop for a base hit. Bautista is turning around second. He'll go to third. And the hits just keep on coming.
The 2015 Honda CR-V is the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays and Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
First and third, one out for Deanna Navarro, the catcher. Blue Jays now have 13 hits. Navarro had a 2-run double in the first, part of that 4-run first inning against Bud Norris. Garcia is the third Oriole pitcher to work this afternoon. Norris went 3 innings plus 3 batters. That's a fly ball. That should score Bautista. He's tagging at third. Pierce makes the catch. He'll throw it into second, and Navarro picks up his third ribby of the afternoon.
Yeah, and the Blue Jays pick up their third sacrifice fly of the afternoon. Some productive at-bats by the Blue Jays. You don't have to do too much. You get a guy at third base, as you see Bautista giving a quick scatter report to Kevin Pillar, who was on deck. But good fundamental baseball this afternoon offensively.
It's been pretty consistent throughout spring training into the regular season. Bautista moved up on Encarnacion's ground out after the leadoff double in the third. Then Donaldson quickly cast him in with a sac fly. Good base running, good aggressive approaches on the bases, and then productive at bats. The Blue Jays have been retired in order just once this afternoon. That was in the second, when it looked like Bud Norris was going to settle down. Bautista's been on base 4 times and scored 4 runs. Weston Smoke looks dangerous.
Here's Jose, and that's what he does right there. He was the first guy to face Garcia. He ended up walking, so he's got a mental picture of what that ball looks like. Now he's going to pass that on to his teammates. So when they face the youngster, they're going to have an idea of what to expect.
Garcia, with a couple of walks this inning, will get a visit from the catcher and the pitching coach. Jason Garcia is a youngster, just 22 years old. He'll pitch all season as a 22-year-old. He won't turn 23 until November. Buck Showalter told us about Garcia in the spring, how much he liked his arm. This is a turnover season for the Orioles. They don't have Nelson Cruz, who led the American League in home runs last year with 40. He is in Seattle. They don't have their longtime right fielder, Nick Markakis. And for the time being, they don't have Matt Wieters and J.J. Hunter. Those are 4 big parts to the Orioles' success for the last several years.
Both offensively, defensively, leadership within the clubhouse, out on the bench. for Wieters. I'm not sure how long that one's going to be.
Buehrle goes after the first pitch and hits it high in the air into shallow left. Pierce comes in, calls for it. And the inning is over, but the Blue Jays get a run into 6. The bats are red hot here in Baltimore. Prior to the game, PlayStation provided us with a prediction of who they thought the Blue Jays player of the game would be. And today, they picked Jose Bautista.
And they were really close. They picked 2 for 4 with a home run and 2 RBIs. Well, Jose did one better. 3 for 3. He didn't have the home run, but he did have the 2 RBIs. He was on base 4 times. He scored 4 runs, and for that, he is now going to be taken out of the ball game. Good job on that, as a replacement has been put into the game.
Steve Tolleson moves in to right. The simulation is powered by MLB 15 to show baseball is better only on PlayStation. This is Chris Davis batting in the 6th. It's all Blue Jays, 11-2 over the Orioles. He hits this one high and deep to left. Buehrle at the track, at the wall. What a catch! Oh my! Stay hot, Kevin Buehrle. He's a terrific defender. And Pat, you know this very well. It's an 11-2 game. Be very easy to concede that off the wall, but Buehrle said, I'm making up my mind to catch it.
You could see the determination in his face as soon as the ball was hit. He knew that that ball was not going to leave the yard. That ball is going to come down and go off the wall. He said, if it stays in, I'm going to try and catch it. He was determined. He ran hard. He gave up his body, to the delight of Mark Buehrle.
Buehrle's making a lot of Gold Glovers here this afternoon. Defense has been on their toes all afternoon. What an effort by Kevin Buehrle. He's a natural center fielder, but boy, he can play all 3 outfield positions and play them well. This is popped up. Yanni Navarro, he's had a bunch of these. He'll give way this time to Smoke, who makes the catch. Delman Young, 0 for 3.
That is saying something, because he has worn out Mark Buehrle in his career. Ground down, a double play, and a pop-up. Mark Buehrle gets the first 2 quickly here in the 6th.
It would be easy to overlook the defense because the offense has really put on a show today. But boy, the defense has kept Mark Buehrle in this game. Buehrle making a terrific catch here in the 6th. Pompey made one in the 4th. Devin Travis turned a nice double play in the 3rd. And Justin Smoke made a couple of good plays at first. The one thing that is almost impossible to quantify is defense. Until you see them play and recognize the plays that they make that don't appear on the stat sheet. And we've seen it all afternoon.
Baltimore has done it superbly over the last couple of years. Make the routine play. When an out is an out, make the play.
Manny Machado takes ball 4 to outwalk. Buehrle has walked 2 this afternoon. This is Travis Snyder. He's 1 for 2 against Buehrle. Popped out to the catcher back in the 4th. Liam Hendriks starts to loosen up. He has not pitched in this young season. Snyder didn't want to,
but he did anyway.
He anticipated a strike.
It looked like Buehrle pulled the string on him, huh? This is working out nicely for John Gibbons and the Blue Jays, score-wise, where he can get his relievers into the game.
Little looper, that's going to drop in front of Pompey. Snyder with his 2nd hit of the afternoon. 2-out base hit. Pete Walker checking on the status of Liam Hendriks. Of course, Buehrle is the pitcher of record. He has 2 outs here in the 6th. It looks as though he will pick up his 200th career win here this afternoon. Dane Johnson is the bullpen coach. Just hung up the phone. He's checking with Liam Hendriks. Scope grounds it to third. Donaldson steps on the bag. Mark Buehrle has thrown 6 innings here in Baltimore. The Blue Jays have a big lead. Buehrle's defense has been outstanding. RV, Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
Well, no home runs this afternoon by the Toronto Blue Jays, but a lot of extra base hits, especially doubles. They have hit 7 doubles. They hit 2 in the 1st inning. They got 3 more in the 4th inning, and this just drives pitchers crazy. When you can make good pitches, you can hit the ball down the right field line, down the left field line. You can pull the ball, you can inside out it, you can drive it into the gap. And the Blue Jays have shown why I think they're going to be a good offensive team, because they hit a lot of doubles and they're on their game this afternoon.
Last time the Blue Jays had 7 doubles in a game was last August 26th against the Boston Red Sox. What doubles do to a pitcher is it keeps him in the soup. Home runs, you get a new ball, new batter, nobody's on. You get doubles, and every time you look back, there's a runner in scoring position.
There's always a guy in scoring position. It's almost like you wipe the slate clean when you hit a home run.
Travis gets jammed, and Machado throws him out.
You know, and you stay in that stretch. You never get back into that windup again.
Jason Garcia in his second big league appearance gave up a run on a hit, walked 2 batters in his first inning this afternoon. Jose Reyes has got 2 for 4. Ball on the strike to the Blue Jays shortstop. Now it's strike 2.
And we were talking about 7 doubles. That's through the first 6 innings. Blue Jays still have 3 more innings to add to that total.
Mark Buehrle and Pete Walker talking about Buehrle's outing, and you can see Buehrle maybe discussing the fact he wasn't getting turned, but it looks as though his day has come to an end here in Baltimore.
Liam Hendricks still throwing out in the bullpen. He's got that pullover. Mark Buehrle got it on. Maybe his afternoon is finished.
Reyes hits it off the end of the bat. This is going to drop for a base hit. 3rd hit of the afternoon for Reyes. A little bit of a smile. Blue Jays really doing a little bit of everything here today. The only thing they haven't done offensively is hit a home run.
Everything they swing and hit, they're finding a hole this afternoon.
This is a big road trip for the Blue Jays. Playing a couple of big AL East rivals. They took 2 of 3 from the Yankees in New York. They have a 3-game series against the Orioles, and then they'll go home to take on Tampa Bay in a home season opening 4-game series.
I think the Blue Jays have an excellent opportunity in front of them here in the month of April, the beginning part of their schedule. They got some foes who are down just a little bit. There's some injuries on some of these teams. There's some turnover on some of these teams where you're just not real sure what you're going to get. I think they have a great opportunity to get off to a good start if they play good baseball.
Absolutely. And last year, their April wasn't so good. They had just 12 wins in April and then had a terrific month of May. 21 wins in May a year ago. But boy, John Gibbons would love to get off to a fast start in the first month of the season. Dalton Pompey hits it into left field. Steve Pearce coming in and makes the catch. You look at the Blue Jays schedule, we mentioned they'll finish up here in Baltimore, then go home for a 4-game series against Tampa Bay. Atlanta's in town for the weekend series, the 17th, 18th, and 19th. And then after an off day, the Orioles will be right back to Rogers Center.
Well, just think about last year. We opened up against Tampa Bay, David Price. He's not in our division anymore. And then we go to Boston and John Lester. He's not even in our league anymore. So some turnover and some injuries. No Alex Cobb for the Tampa Bay Rays when we get home.
No Matt Moore. He's out at least until July.
So I think the opportunity's there for the Jays.
This is Steve Tolleson. He took over for Batista in right field. Jose Batista, he had a terrific day. He was perfect. He was 3 for 3 with a walk. He scored 4 runs and he drove in 3. Tolleson got the start in New York in left field in last night's game. He picked up an RBI with a ground out. He was 0 for 2 in his 2 plate appearances. Russell Martin gets the day off to start this series. We mentioned the 7 doubles the Blue Jays have hit here. Their record for a game, 10 doubles in a game, came back in 2008 at Fenway Park. They hit 10 doubles against the Red Sox. That's a team record for doubles in a game. Tolleson takes strike 3. The inning is over, but the Blue Jays have gone down in order just once here this afternoon. The bats have come alive in Baltimore. Buehrle in line for his 200th career win. Buehrle is out of the game. He goes 6 innings, is charged with 2 runs on 8 hits, and he is in line for his 200th career win. He threw 84 pitches, 50 for strikes, and it was a good day for Mark Buehrle.
A typical day, I think, for Mark Buehrle. He'll give up his share of hits. The Orioles are a good hitting team. He gave up those 8 hits, but he only plated 2 runs against him. And I think the defense had a lot to do with that. They were on their toes this afternoon. You'll always get that from Mark Buehrle when he's on the mound. He'll work quickly, and he'll give way to Liam Hendricks. There are his numbers in 9 games. Split some time with the Blue Jays and then was dealt to Kansas City. In fact, he had 2 stints with the Blue Jays last year before he was dealt to Kansas City for Danny Valencia, his teammate. Doesn't throw hard. He moves the ball around. Fastball, slider, curveball, and a changeup from Hendricks.
Well, you mentioned the defense, and boy, it was a good day for all the defensive players. Here, Smoke and Buehrle team up to retire Chris Davis.
Showing off his range in center field, Dalton Pompey. Look at this one. Straight back, plucks it out of the air. And then Pilar. How about this throw right here to get Adam Jones? It scored a run, but it ended an inning with that strike. And then Devin Pilar is going to finish this one off. Giving up his body, taking away extra bases from Chris Davis. With a fine running catch in left field. We saw the double play by Devin Travis. A nice turn. Josh Donaldson gave him a good feed. So lots of defense this afternoon from the Jays.
You cannot discount the impact of defense, and the Blue Jays have been throwing the leather around Camden Yards all afternoon. Good young players doing a job. Mark Buehrle grateful for that. Liam Hendricks now works to the number 9 hitter, Caleb Joseph. Hendricks had a good spring. He threw the ball well all spring long and pitched his way onto this team. Barry Davis told us earlier in the game that the Blue Jays, when Michael Saunders is ready to rejoin this team, they'll probably go back to a 7-man bullpen. Pitchers are aware of that down in that pen. They know somebody's got to go.
And now they're getting their chance. There's 8 relievers on this team. We only saw 4 of them in that whole series in New York. Hendricks has a chance here.
Off the end of the bat, Reyes on the money. 1 down. You know, you talk about Justin Smoke over at first base, and look at Reyes. He's acknowledging the first baseman. Reyes committed 19 errors a year ago. A lot of his errors were throwing errors. And when you have a big target like Justin Smoke, defenders have a tendency to have a lot of confidence, and they'll cut that ball loose knowing that Smoke can pick it out of the dirt.
Yeah, and if they are a little erratic, they scatter just a little bit, you're going to make the play. That's one area. 3 infielders this afternoon starting who were not with the organization last year. Smoke, Travis, and Donaldson.
The Blue Jays have had some good first basemen in the past. The best first baseman before Smoke, in my mind, Lyle Overbay. Terrific defender with great range and a real good arm. And before that, John Olerud. John Olerud was terrific, and of course everybody talked about Olerud in his back, but he was a big target, 6'6" over at first base with a big wide wingspan. He saved a lot of runs, a lot of errors. This ball is smoked into center field. Cabrera will pull up with a 1-out single.
Make a grand entrance during the DIY Expert Sale, only at Home Building Center and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
See, they threw that ball out of play. Not sure why. Maybe Hendricks just didn't like that baseball. There's no significance that I know of about that Cabrera base hit. This is Steve Pearce. We mentioned Pearce coming off a terrific season a year ago. 26 doubles, 21 home runs. Pearce has been with the Orioles a couple of different times, and he mentioned how he has bounced around. He started his big league career with the Pirates. He was with the Orioles in 2012, but then he was with Houston and the Yankees that season. He came back to Baltimore in 2013 and had a breakout season last year. You just never know when things are going to click. Kind of happened late for Josh Donaldson. He was a college player. He was a catcher. Came to big leagues as a catcher. And of course, no one had a more dramatic late turnaround than Jose Bautista. Everything came together once he came to Toronto.
Isn't it funny what playing time will do?
Yeah,
for a guy.
It was a perfect storm for Bautista. You remember he had one season where he was with 4 different teams. But when he came to the Blue Jays, Wayne Murphy and Cito Gaston were in charge, and they got him to get that foot down, look for the fastball, and the rest is history. He's become one of the best hitters in the game. But you never know when it's going to click. That's Colt Hines, who is looking for his first Blue Jays appearance. He finished up 2014 pitching in AAA Buffalo for the Jays. Reyes will flip to second, back to first. Another easy double play. 6-4-3 second double play turned this afternoon by the Jays infield.
League Baseball. Listen to live audio, follow games pitch by pitch, and enjoy in-game video highlights. The app is available on the iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, Android, and BlackBerry. Season-long subscription packages are available. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. Buck?
Thank you, Barry. What's going on around the baseball world? Blue Jays batting here in the 8th. They have an 11-2 lead over the Orioles. Edwin Encarnacion has officially gone 0 for 3 at a sacrifice fly in his first.
Only Blue Jay without a hit this afternoon.
Bouncing ball to short. Cabrera gobbles it up. Everett Cabrera playing in place of J.J. Hardy, who is currently on the disabled list, but the reports suggest that Hardy is progressing well. He collided with Jonathan Scope in spring training and bruised his left shoulder as he fell to the ground, so he is not yet ready to play. The news isn't quite as good with Matt Wieters, who is coming back from Tommy John surgery. I don't think there's any time frame for him.
Did he catch the game against the Blue Jays? Was that the game that I was watching? He only caught one game in the spring.
I'm not sure where it was, but he had played several games as the DH. He hadn't gotten a hit, and then he caught one game, and Then I think they shut him down for the rest of the spring.
Complaining that the elbow was bothering him again. He just had Tommy John surgery last year.
Well, everybody worries about pitchers, and rightly so, because their arms are so valuable, but nobody throws more than catchers. They got to catch all those pitchers. Bad news for the Red Sox, of course. Their fine young catcher, Christian Vasquez, he has gone under the knife as well. Tommy John surgery, and it's a tough injury for a catcher.
The Blue Jays have a young catcher who had Tommy John surgery a couple of years ago.
A.J. Menace, the catcher in AAA, although Josh Tolley started the season yesterday in AAA Buffalo as the Buffalo Bisons lost to Rochester in their opening game 6-3 at home in Buffalo. This is a high fly ball to right. Snyder is there. 2 down. Blue Jays and Orioles will play game 2 of this series tomorrow night. It'll be the first major league start for Aaron Sanchez. He'll go up against the veteran Ubaldo Jimenez, who went 1-2 last year for the Orioles against the Blue Jays. It'll all start at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the pregame show with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn. We'll follow that top of the hour. Jason Garcia is out. Wesley Wright, the left-hander, coming on. 2 down here in the 8th. Thirty-year-old left-hander Wesley Wright comes into the ballgame with 2 outs here. Those are his numbers from a year ago. He pitched with the Cubs 1 year. He's also pitched with Houston and Tampa Bay. He's on here to turn Deanna Navarro around and have him bat as a right-hander. Navarro's had a good day, 3 RBI day for Navarro. His first start behind the plate this season. Picking up right where he left off a year ago with the bat.
So tough to defend him. We saw him double in the first inning down the left field line. And then have a sacrifice fly to left field. Drove a ball to center field in the 3rd inning.
Navarro's now 31 years old. He set a career high a year ago, playing in 139 games. That was the big question mark regarding Navarro at the start of the season. Would he be able to catch every day, since he hadn't done it in such a long time? He answered all the doubters.
And then some, I think. His bat is important. You talk to the Blue Jay personnel, and they keep talking, boy, love to see him come up late in the ball games. Runners in scoring position, 2 outs. This is the guy we want to have, and it's awfully hard to take that bat out of the lineup.
John Gibbons loves the versatility of having a switch hitter in that DH spot. Hits this ball. Machado near the foul line at third. Long throw. Wesley White gets the only man he faces. We'll go to the bottom of the eighth. It's all Blue Jays. Now it's time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zaun. Those are his numbers in AAA. He finished up the season in AAA with the Buffalo Bisons, and he pitched well this spring. They brought him into a lot of key situations, and he responded very well.
Boy, did he ever. You know, the book on him at the beginning of spring training was he doesn't throw hard, but he mixes his pitches well. He hits his spots, and he doesn't walk anybody. And what a spring he did. He did not allow a run in 13 innings this spring. He had a club-leading 13 games pitched. Couple of walks in those 13 strikeouts. Sinker, slider, moves the ball around. A veteran, he's been around before. And he will get his first taste of action this season with the Blue Jays.
His only big league time came back in 2013. He got into 22 games with the San Diego Padres. He spent time in the Angels, Rangers, Padres minor league system. Blue Jays actually claimed him from the Dodgers minor league system. He came over on August 13th, 2014, and finished up the AAA season with Buffalo. Adam Jones, he's had a perfect day at the plate. 3 for 3, homer, double, single. He was thrown out by Kevin Pillar in the 5th, trying to stretch a single into a double. That ended the inning. The Blue Jays have been on their toes defensively.
I think you have to. You have to against the Orioles, and anytime you can cut them down on bases, eliminate outs, the way they can hit the ball and come back, knock the ball out of the ballpark. You play good defense, it just makes it tough on them. You can't give them any freebies.
When you look at the two ball clubs and you compare them, they're really quite similar going back to last year. Pitching is good, but not great for both clubs. The biggest difference was how well they defended. The Orioles had Gold Glovers all over the field. Another sharply hit ball. Nice play by Reyes. He throws on the money, but the ball drifted on him, and Smoke couldn't come up with it. So Jones will have another base hit. Let's check in with Barry Davis.
Buck, we have an update on Jose Bautista, who left the game in the 6th inning. Word from the Blue Jays is he suffered some cramping from dehydration, so they removed him as a precaution. Earlier in the game, he was rubbing a ball over that right calf muscle. Hopefully, for the Blue Jays' sake, it's not serious, but with a huge lead like they have today, it's better to play it safe than sorry. So he came out of this ball game. Buck?
Well, Barry, he was tired of running. He was on base all day long, and I think that's what the problem was. Great day for Jose, and I don't think it's anything serious. You know, Pat, you know what it's like. you start the season and you go from 89 degrees in Florida to cold temperatures in New York and here in Baltimore. Batista's been on base all 4 times he came to the plate. He was running the bases all afternoon.
For the first time this season.
Yeah, Jose, he had a tough series in Baltimore. He had just 1 walk in 13 plate appearances, so he wasn't on the base much. Today, he was running all over the yard and probably just got a little bit dehydrated. It's an off-speed pitch. It's a mile high to right. Tollison looking up. This ball is off the wall. Pompey backs him up, and they're going to stop Jones at third base as Chris Davis scraped one off the scoreboard. That was a mile-high fly ball.
Well, everybody knows that Chris Davis is very strong, and you want to see the definition of a player who is strong. He looked like he was fooled on that pitch from Colt Hines. Watch this. He's out in front and hits this with one hand and almost knocks it out of the ballpark. It's high. It's deep. Tollison goes back and then realizes it's about halfway up the wall, tries to get to Karam. But Chris Davis, he doesn't need 2 hands to knock the ball out of the ballpark.
Delman Young drives one to right. That's going to drop in front of Tollison. Jones comes in to score. Davis stops at third. Delman Young's first hit drives in Adam Jones from third. 3 hits in a row. Let's check it with Jamie Campbell. Thank you very much. And Houston 1-2 to start the season. The Rangers are 2-2. And the Texas Rangers trying to bounce back as they have some of their regulars back. Sinshu Chu, Prince Fielder healthy again, and in the lineup for Texas.
Did he say Derek Holland was injured again?
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. He has missed so much time. Had knee problems and he was rehabbing, so that's not good news for Texas. That is Marco Estrada. The right-hander loosening up. It's 11-3 Blue Jays. Manny Machado hits it on the ground. Reyes waits it short. Flip to Travis. What a turn! Oh my! Devin Travis late getting up, and he got hit hard. That's the 3rd double play. Travis has turned.
He will stay in there and take the ball and turn a double play. Delman Young went in there hard. Watch, his ball wasn't hit that hard, and it handcuffed Reyes just a little bit. But Travis uses that bag as a defender. Here comes Delman Young. It looked like he kicked Devin Travis in the knee, but he got enough on that ball to get the double play.
We told you the Blue Jays scouted Travis and said he could turn too. Look at the left foot of Young. It bounced up and clipped Travis in the right knee. Appears to be okay. But that was one of the big notes in the Blue Jays scouting report when they saw Travis play last year in Double-A with the Tigers. He can turn a double play.
He can hang in there, and he's got arm strength too. That's one thing you need. You have to be able to have arm strength to turn a tough double play like that with a big leaguer bearing down on you.
That has been a real problem for the Blue Jays, especially late in the game. When you're in a tight ball game, you get a ground ball with 1 out in the 8th. You want that double play turn to get you out of an inning. Colt Hines bounces back, and after 3 consecutive hits, he allows just 1 run. Again, the defense on their toes. 2-run score here in the 8th. It's 11-4 Blue Jays as we head to the 9th.
final weekend of the hockey season, and tomorrow on Hockey Night in Canada, 4 choices of nationally televised games. Start your Saturday with Hockey Central Saturday at 6:30 Eastern. Then it's the Canadiens and Leafs on CBC. Later, the Oilers and Canucks. Visit sportsnet.ca/schedule for details. And Buck, a number of Canadian teams already clinching spots for the playoffs, and that is great news for the country.
Well, it sure is, Barry, and I think that's a big thing this time of the year. Everybody trying to jockey for a better playoff position. Big week of hockey coming up, and you can see it all tomorrow night. Justin Smoke switches around. He hits right-handed for the first time today. Smoke has a single. He's also walked. Boy, versatility has really improved for the Blue Jays with the addition of the switch hitters. Dalton Pompey is a switch hitter. Reyes, of course, the veteran switch hitter. Navarro and Smoke. About 4 switch hitters in your lineup. That really creates problems for the opposing manager. When you think about making a pitching change late in the game, you got to pick your poison. You want him as a left-handed hitter or a right-handed hitter?
Well, they can go to the notes and look at the numbers, but you still get the same guy. There might be some discrepancies, left-handed, right-handed.
It's really valuable in the American League when benches are so thin because of the extra arms in the bullpen. Up the middle, 2-hit day for Justin Smoke.
Blue Jays had 3 switch hitters on the bench last night. Justin Smoke getting through there.
Louis Rivera is the infield coach and the third base coach, and right here you can bet he's talking a little bit about the double play situation. Travis has turned 3 double plays today. Probably talking about how you might cheat, get a little closer to the bag on particular base runners like Delman Young, who's a good base runner. And Young is the runner that slid into Travis at second base in the bottom of the 8th.
The second baseman has to be able to turn a double play a couple different ways. He's got to come across the bag. He's got to stay on the outfield side of the bag.
Kevin Pillar chases Adam Jones all the way to the track in center.
He can also back off, go towards shortstop, and use that bag as a defender, make that runner slide over the bag. So there's different ways you're going to have to learn to turn the double play just to avoid getting hit like he did.
Robbie Alomar was in spring training and had a couple of sessions with Devin Travis talking about the different ways you turn 2. The throw will dictate a lot as to how you turn 2, where that throw takes you around the bag at second. But if you want to learn how to play second base, I'd dial up Robbie Alomar's number.
Yeah, he was talking about angles, how to go after balls to your left. Do you cut straight across the diamond to try and get it? Do you give a little bit of ground? Now, Devin Travis, has enough arm that he can give ground, I think, at second base to go get the ball and still make the play.
There's a ball driven to center field. Adam Jones on the run. He's not going to get it. He plays it on a hop. Smoke is going to stop at third. Devin Travis, we talked about Travis. He got a little pop in his belt. Travis had a home run in the series opener. His first major league hit was a home run. Here he drills this high pitch into center for a double.
I think the word is going to get around. The center fielder is going to have to play a little bit deeper. He's not the type of player that shoots the ball the other way. He gaps that one over the head of Adam Jones for his second hit of the afternoon. He's been on base 3 more times.
That's the 9th double, and that'll put a smile on the hitting coach's face. Rick Jacoby and his assistant Eric Owens. Reyes drills it high and deep, and Smoke at third's tagging up. He's going to jog home. The throw will go to third base as Reyes picks up the RBI. Boy, he's had a big day. That's 4 sacrifice flies this afternoon, and that'll make a hitting coach happy. Stay in the big part of the field and cash in that runner from third base.
Because they've hit a lot of doubles.
8 doubles this afternoon. Smoke a 2-hit day. The young Blue Jay fan has the earmuffs on because the sound from the Blue Jay bats has been ringing all afternoon. 12-4. Dalton Pompey batting right-handed. John Gibbons put Pompey in the 2 spot today, anxious to get him going with the bat, and he responded in his first at bat. Hit a double to right. He had a 2-run double in the 4th.
Looks like the smartest guy in the ballpark today, doesn't he? He also gave Russell Martin the afternoon off, the day off. That was a long game last night, and the Blue Jays traveled here to Baltimore. Didn't get in until about 2 or 2:30 in the morning.
There's a drive to left. Pierce back. That ball is going to hang up, and Pompey drives it to the warning track. The inning is over. Blue Jays had a run in the 9th. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Mark Buehrle looking for his 200th career win. With the bats, they lead it 12-4 as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning, and Pat has been a little bit of everything offensively.
8 doubles for the Blue Jays. That's the most since July of 2010. Jose Bautista's had a big day for the Blue Jays. He's 3 for 3 with a double and 2 RBIs. Mark Buehrle in line for that 200th win, but Josh Donaldson's had a good game. Jose Reyes has had 3 hits. Devin Travis with another multi-hit game. Dalton Pompey. I mean, you can go up and down the list. They've played great defense. They've done a little bit of everything this afternoon.
Marco Estrada will make his Blue Jays debut. Those are his numbers from a year ago. He began the season with the Brewers in 2014 in their starting rotation. He finished up working out of the bullpen. Marco Estrada is 31 years old. He was born in Sonora, Mexico. He grew up in Southern California and actually pitched at Long Beach State University.
Got a great changeup. He's a swingman. If they need some help in that starting rotation, he can come out of the bullpen. They need to get Marco some innings here. He missed some time in spring training with a couple of different injuries. So they need to build up some arm strength.
Marco, as Pat mentioned, has a great changeup. And he is in this bullpen, and the Blue Jays basically have 3 long men, guys that are capable of giving John Gibbons multiple innings out of the pen. Todd Redmond, Marco Estrada, and Liam Hendricks. You say, why is it important? Well, it's important because you have 3 young starters in your rotation and 2 rookies in your rotation. You don't really know how they're going to handle things.
You don't know what you're going to get from the youngsters. They can pitch a gem or they could get knocked out early. So you got to have some veterans.
There's a high fly ball. This has been a problem for Estrada. He led the majors in home runs allowed a year ago. Jonathan Scope goes deep to start the 9th.
Scope's first of the year. Center cut fastball right over the top. Fastball, breaking ball, good changeup. And for Marco Estrada, he has got to be able to hit his spots. If he doesn't, this Oriole lineup could knock the ball out of the ballpark.
They mentioned 29 home runs allowed last year. That led the majors. Estrada had problems keeping the ball in the ballpark. Caleb Joseph, the catcher. We're going to see games like this from both of these ball clubs all year long. They're both very good offensive teams. It's interesting when you look at the meat of the order for the Blue Jays with Batista, Encarnacion, and Donaldson. They have a chance to have 3 100 RBI run producers in the middle of their order. The Blue Jays haven't had 3 hitters drive in 100 since 2000. Carlos Delgado, Tony Batista, and Brad Fulmer all drove in 100. That's the last time they had 3 hitters drive in 100 or more. Oh, what a nice play at third. Josh Donaldson takes extra bases away from Caleb Joseph with 1 out. Now it's time for a preview of what's coming up next on Sportsnet Central. Here's Martin Geyer. Thank you, Martine. And of course, that Masters is going on. Second round of the Masters, and Jordan Spieth is tearing it up.
Is he?
Absolutely. He established a record for score after 2 rounds. Change up, and that's where you need to throw that change up is down.
Keep it down. Complement that fastball by keeping it down. He comes right over the top with that fastball, his delivery. And as a hitter, you can see that, so you have to get that ball down. Make him reach for it.
That's a good changeup when you can throw it back to back. 1-2 to the leadoff man, Everett Cabrera. He's singled in the 7th. To this point, he's 1 for 4. Aaron Sanchez will make his first major league start tomorrow. He is in the 5th spot in the Blue Jays rotation.
Josh Donaldson getting into the act defensively this afternoon. Everybody seems to be wanting to put on a show defensively. Quick reactions, good hands there.
Evan Pilar makes the catch. Orioles are down to their final out. We mentioned that we'll be on tomorrow night, but before we're on, how about a little Red Sox Yankee action from the Bronx? Boston will be in town to take on New York, and the Red Sox and the Yankees, of course, that's always a great rivalry. You can see that tomorrow afternoon. See, it's Steve Pearce. He fouls one off the screen in front of Buck Showalter, the Orioles manager. Pearce hit into one of 3 double plays the Blue Jays turned this afternoon.
You know, again, this worked out quite nicely for John Gibbons and the Blue Jays. He was asked earlier today what he would like to see the Blue Jays do is get off to a good start, score a lot of runs so I can use some of my guys out of that bullpen, get them some action in a big game.
We got to make sure we ask him the same thing tomorrow.
Score a lot of runs early.
Get out to a good start. Score a lot of runs. Get some of my guys into the game. Blue Jays have scored 12 runs on 16 hits and they haven't hit a home run. This should do it. A high pop-up, smoke the first baseman calling for it. Makes the catch, and the game is over. The Blue Jays win it 12-5. Mark Buehrle with his 200th career win to become the 4th active pitcher with 200 or more wins.
Congratulations to Mark Buehrle and the Blue Jays. Dalton Pompey gets put in the number 2 hole. He responds with a big game. Everybody getting into the act today. 16 hits and 12 runs, making it a little bit easier for Buehrle to pick up that 200th win.
The Blue Jays will play game 2 here tomorrow night. Aaron Sanchez will go to the mound for the Jays against Ubaldo Jimenez. We'll be right back at it. As we mentioned tomorrow, there's Mark Buehrle, winner of his 200th game. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night. Stay tuned. Sportsnet Central. Here's Martine Geyer.